guys, welcome back to Oru Kural. We're joined with
Sadna Jadvi,
who's also part of our amazing social media team. So anything you see on our social media, it's them too. We're also joined in an amazing new studio just to discuss a journey of womanhood. So we're going to touch a bit about Samti Vidal. We're going to talk about what it's like to be a woman, especially a young brown Tamil woman, and how it kind of our experience as well. I think the first question is like, how would we explain what a Samti Vidal is? How did you guys do it to like your non-Tamil friends, I guess?
I would just tell them it's like a puberty ceremony.
Yeah.
And like, you know, historically how it's supposed to be like you're coming out to society.
Yeah.
Like now men know that you're ready to be married. That type of vibe. So I'll just explain that in the most...
That's so Bridgerton coded.
Yeah, literally Bridgerton coded.
I always said to people like it's like a quinceañera because I feel like saying puberty ceremony is so weird. Like it makes us look so strange. Like we're just doing a party for our first period. But I would always be like it's like a quinceañera. Yeah. I know that now they do like it's a sari ceremony because that's the first time you can wear a sari. No.
Like I had like one group of Tamil friends from Tamil school. Mm-hmm. So with them, like it was calm, but like at school, I didn't tell anyone.
Yeah. But the attention is like just on you because you've started your period, and it's like obviously it's just Tamils that do it, right? So all my friends, I'm like, okay, they don't do this. It's like a strange concept to them. How do I explain it? How do I,
because being on like starting, like, but feeling like you're in your period and stuff, it's already such a like a damn. This is such a massive change.
That's
then like have a whole celebration about it. It's something completely different. How did you guys find your? Because we were talking about it before, and I did like a big one. I hated mine. And you guys are saying you both did like small ones, right?
Yeah. So we just did, I think this is probably your one as well, but we did, you know how the Ayed comes, does the Turaku?
Yeah.
We did that, and on the same day, we did the Samiti video at my house. So it was very small and intimate. That's because I was like, I'm not taking pictures. Do not.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Because you're at an awkward age
as well.
Like I can't. And pre-puberty.
Yeah, and it's like, all of a sudden, all the attention's on me, so I was like, I'm not doing that. Especially when there's like loads of people that know that I'm on my period.
Yeah. No, that, and I had one here. I had the same one as you. You know when people come and they pour water on you, you bath, all of that shit.
Yeah, we did all
and
of
then
that.
I had one back home. Yeah. Like I had to fly. The same time I had to fly. But that's like this generational thing because I don't know if your guys sound was at the same time, but like we had the whole, shit editing. You had that weird.
I was flying in the water. Yeah, we had all of that.
You're on a boat. You're in the sky. I had all of that. I know nowadays they do up helicopter. They do up like wedding videos. Like
how did yours? Mine was like yours. Yeah. It was really low key. Because I think for me, because like, I was a tomboy, so I hated dressing up. But then like the preparation, I kind of enjoyed. Like I liked getting pampered, but like I hated just standing there while like everyone's taking pictures of you and shit. Like I didn't like that. And because like my brother would be like hanging outside playing around, I just wanted to do that. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
I remember they wanted me to go to London Bridge, and I was like, I am
London
not
Bridge
safe.
Is crazy.
London Bridge in Punjabi, yeah.
All my pictures, I look like a bitch. Like I was like,
I was just standing like this the whole time. Even a smile was hard.
Do you know what I mean? Like when you're young and you're a kid, you feel awkward. Like everyone's staring at you. Especially like I think all three of us, like we weren't like girly girls, whatever.
Yeah,
so we didn't like it.
And it was like we were like I was in like year 7, year 8. So all of a sudden I just got into secondary school.
I was in year 6 too.
So I was just embarrassed.
Yeah,
like, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And also because if you deep it, like in year 6, the cousins that would come over, like they were boys. And I'd play with them, but now like they're looking at me trying to be all grown up. Like it was weird.
It's that whole shift between now you are a woman. Like you have to be so much more careful of like how you dress, how you act. Like even with your male relatives, you have to be so much more like mindful. And I feel like because South Asian women in general, they always like start their periods earlier. They mature earlier. And also you develop earlier as well. Like you look more like a woman at a younger age. It's so bad because now you have to be so much more mindful. Even I was going to tell you guys that when I said I was going to do this episode, even my mom said to me, she was like, you're going to talk about periods, like be careful,
it's
like
so like
boys will watch
stigmatized.
It. And I'm like, it's so stigmatized, but it's the same people that say like you shouldn't talk about it. Like, because my mom definitely called every single relative we had saying in the Filasamti Padal, she started a period. But then now it's bad.
When we talk about it, it's like it's something. It's made to be something that we should be ashamed of.
Yes.
But it's not. It's something. It's literally natural.
It's not even that. It's even now, like in my ripe old age, I sit there and I'm like, if I start my period and I say like, I find it so awkward to say in front of relatives.
If I was in a girls' school, I don't care. Like, I'm openly black.
I went to a girls' school, but when I shifted to a male school, I'll be honest, a lot of guys' reactions to it as well, like, because they're just like, they're not used to it. Yeah. I feel like in a girls' school, you're so used to like shouting, like, anyone have a pad, anyone have a pad. But when it's guys and they react to it, it puts you down.
I'm literally in sixth form. I remember I used to hide my pad. Literally sixth form, like 2 years ago. I used to hide my pad in my like pocket, and I would go because I don't want anyone to see. But it's like, why is it like that?
That period shame is such a thing.
It's such a shame.
But like, even like I said to my mom, like, you called every relative. Like, I don't need these old uncles to know that I've started. Like, why do they need to know? And they come to the function. There's like, everyone's sitting there eating cake and like mutton rolls because you've something like you've started.
That's what I'm saying.
But then now I have to be shamed about talking about it.
Wanted to say, like, you know, nowadays they would do it like what's it called? Now they've kind of gotten rid of the meaning of it. Like, I understand the whole meaning of, you know, the religious side of it. They get the ayah to come to look at you, whatever. But like, now you're coming in helicopters, horses. I saw someone coming in a horse carriageway. 100%. I feel like the meaning of it has shifted. It's like just to show off your wealth, show off your money, like show off your outfits. But it's not really that.
No, guys, I saw someone that got like this person to do like a teaser for the Samdi video. It's like it was like Ponyo and Sullivan vibes.
I saw that as well. Very awkward as well, especially at that age, because I'm pretty sure these girls are like very, very young. Yeah. So imagine just standing there all awkwardly dressed up and everything, and that's just my personal thing, because I don't really like to get dressed up as well. I don't really like taking pictures, but I could imagine how awkward it would be, especially like everyone's coming up saying congratulations, like they've done something. Like,
I wasn't comfortable. People like see me differently. Like, because even in gymnastics, I started really young, so my body was like obviously like a child, and then obviously slowly I'm starting to see myself grow more, and then you can see even how like your coaches react to you a bit differently. Like they touch you less, like they help you out less because they don't want to like
make you uncomfortable,
or like touch you inappropriately. It's like, I don't know, I didn't like it because I didn't want people viewing me differently.
Because even like modesty comes into it, because like obviously before my Samdi video, if I ever wore like anything, it wouldn't, because it's a kid, and then as soon as you Samdi, like, and the only
you're not allowed to wear shorts, you're not allowed to wear vests,
you
like,
have to be so careful, you have to wear like training bras and things like that, and it just makes you more conscious of your body. And I feel like that's where a lot of body dysmorphia comes from for a lot of girls, is when they start their period,
especially because it's such a young age. And like, obviously, you know how the South Asian community is, obviously I'm just generalizing, but it's like very much on your case in terms of, you have to do this. Now you're a big girl, you can't be doing stuff like this, you can't be dressing like this. So it's like, since you're young as well, like imagine hearing that when you're literally beginning to find yourself, because that's such an awkward age. Like, some people haven't even found themselves at that age, I can't lie. So it's like that age, and you're hearing all of this, not just from your parents, not just from your like your family, from random aunties. Like, they would have the most to say.
No, guys,
so much. Yeah, like,
I had one. The start of my villain era was this one uncle we had back home after my Samdi video. My sister obviously had like this amazing glow up, because she again became a woman. Like, we have a 5-year age gap, and he was telling this other relative, but pointed at her and said, "Oh, my sister used to look like me, and then now she looks beautiful, and I look like this. Count your days. If I ever go to that village again, count your days." He was such a villain.
Find the uncle right.
Do you know what I mean? Run it up. He was such a he made, and then that's what I'm talking about. Like, because your body becomes such a trivial matter. Like, people just can comment on it, because again, the whole point of a Samdi video is to talk about you becoming a woman. You don't grow into being comfortable. Like you said, you don't like getting dressed up. I love it now, but that's because I'm at a point where I'm more comfortable with my body. Like, I've done stuff to like make myself happier about my body, but it took a lot to get to that point. So I can't imagine like the mindset I had when I was 10, 11 to get dressed up, dolled up and stand there like as a woman, and how much I would have hated it. Obviously, like when you're dressing up in a sari and you're doing all of that stuff, you are seen as a woman, and then obviously you develop more as well. I think we were touching on this, like I feel like that's, for a lot of us, that's the start of us starting to be sexualized. And in our experiences, we've kind of mentioned like that experience of being sexualized, it really stays with you. So do you guys want to touch a bit more?
I think for me, like, because I had an older sister who literally, like, we have quite similar body types. We went for the same thing. Seeing, like, how people viewed her, obviously, like, it had a lot of effects on me. Because, like, so I would dance and stuff. And I would wear, like, always baggy stuff. Like, I wouldn't really like wearing leggings because I didn't like how it shaped my body. Especially t-shirts. I'd always wear a baggy shirt because I didn't like how, like, my boobs would look in the shirt. Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't like how, unfortunately, in anything I do, like my boobs would move and shit like that. Like I hated that. And I even remember like one time I wore like the baggiest jumper, and my dance teacher said like, you need to stop wearing baggy clothes because you can't see the dance. But because of how much like, I wouldn't even say it was men, it was like women. Like so many like women would say stuff and like,
to be careful, like to be cautious.
To be cautious, because they would literally be like, why are you dressed like that? Like you're doing this for attention. Because obviously like seeing how people reacted to my sister and how she would dress, I was literally a bit like, she's wearing the most normal clothes, but like everyone's saying the most just because of her body. And it's drawing because like on a different body type it will be fine, but on hers it's like,
obviously going on with some activities, you're going to be at a young age again, and it's like you have all that to deal with, and you have to deal with the thing that, oh, am I going to get perceived in a way because I'm wearing this? And you just become so cautious. And I feel like a lot of my friends as well, including myself, I'm very cautious about what I wear till this day because of that. Because of since a young age, I've been very like careful about, oh, if I wear this, are people going to look at me differently? If I wear this, are people going to say this, say that? How am I going to be perceived by men? It's like a lot of things going in your head, and it's like, because it's been from such a young age, it's still sticking now.
Yeah, like I think growing up around, especially during a time where like people obviously catcall and stuff like that, it was after my Samdi video that obviously your body develops, and that's when I started getting, especially like lots of old men. Like I remember so distinctly, I was waiting for the bus one time, and this old man like in a van, he must have stared at me and like winked at me and started like basically doing like really weird hand gestures, and that stuck with me because I was so scared. That was my first ever experience of it, and after that it just perceived how I saw my body. Like and like, I'm heavy on like prevention rather than treatment. So like if I know that I'm going somewhere, like I will always take steps. I would always take steps to make sure that people can't sexualize me, that people can't like,
even then they'll find out.
Of course they will. And this is the thing, of course you could wear a whole burqa. I can wear a burqa and still get sexualized. Of course you can be a child and get sexualized, of course. But like if I'm going, I'll take extra steps to do as much as I can, because I've been in like, I try to dress as much as I can. If I go out sometimes, please, you think people aren't doing weird stuff on the train, even my workplace, you think old men aren't coming to grab me up, like it's rubbish, but it's something that happens. But for me it was definitely like, as you see your body grow as a kid, and to get sexualized like that, and to get like people catcalling you and making comments, it makes you so much more aware, and it kind of makes you hate your body though, because you get frustrated.
I think that's what it is, because especially like it was like in year 6 when I started my puberty, like I remember in year 3 there was one girl, because you know how in year 3 like you still would get changed in front of the boys in primary school,
which is
I don't know, thinking about it now, it's like, why did we do that?
I remember one girl, like she developed very quickly, so obviously in a trading bar she did have like breasts, and the way like everyone would be like, oh my god, look at her, like
this is what I'm saying,
that was weird. Like she needed to literally go ask to like get changed in the toilet, which I think like she should have just like been able to change in like her own room. But seeing how people like reacted to her, obviously like with me developing like that, I knew straight away from a young age, like, deep at year 7, why am I knowing that like, okay, because this part of my body is growing, I need to cover that for like people to not view me like this, treat me like that. Like I think that's really mad. Like but I feel like it was mainly like the jokes in Western media, because always like they'll be so unattractive, like it would be like all dirty little like Indians and stuff. So then like going into school, and if people ask me where you from, like I would get so nervous, because I'll be like,
which is so, because obviously now it's amazing because we're so proud, and we'll say like, you know, this is where I'm from, but even like my workplace, crazy the racist stuff they say to brown people, they think it's okay, because I know that if I say it to any other race, and I would never, but the standard isn't there of like what we hold things to be racist or not. Like, you know, Simpsons, I always had that joke of like, oh, that red dot on your forehead if I press. Oh my god,
they used to bang that joke in primary school, and I just used to, it's sad because I just used to laugh, because I was like, I was too scared to speak back, because I was like, what are they gonna say? Or like,
but a potto is so pretty as well.
That's what I'm saying. Like, my dad would always say, oh, wear potto to go to school, and I was like, no.
Please, I'll be fighting that.
I'll be fighting these. I'm like, no. But yeah, and my dad would always say like, you see, I had a lot of Muslim friends, and they were so proud of their culture. They would always wear like their scarf. Like since like year 7 and stuff, I would have loads of my friends wearing their scarf, hijabs, and they were very proud of it. And my dad was like, look at your friends, they're very proud of their culture, they're very proud of their religion, why can't you wear potto? And I'm like, yeah, there's something about it, it was just so like looked down upon, like people violated differently, that I was like, yeah, I'm not wearing that. But then obviously now I'm like, why did I not speak back to people saying jokes like that and say, no, that's not okay? But
it's because I feel like you're fighting your corner by yourself. Like even in my
100%.
workplace, when people said that, I felt like I was fighting my corner, just being like, guys, you know, like, because you don't want to be like, take it seriously. Yeah. Because there's a whole thing of like, oh, I'm just joking.
Yeah. But you're not joking.
But you're not joking.
But I feel like nowadays, like my brother, he's like year 7, so he's like in that awkward phase that we were. But I feel like he's quite very proud of his culture, proud of his thing. But I feel like it comes with the generation, like the younger generation. It comes with the media as well. Like for example, representation now is like Bridgerton. The 2 most stunning girls on the show were Tamil. Imagine like how we felt. It was like
the best Bridgerton storyline.
100%. Season 2 was the best show, guys. Yeah.
Even like The Office, I don't know if you know The Office, the Mindy Project, because Mindy Kaling, I loved her.
That was a good representation.
Do you know what? Because she loved her white men. Mindy Kaling loves her white men.
Like, that whole white men feel like, when we were younger, cool, we were all like, okay. But like, that was the first TV show I saw where there was a brown woman who was the main character, had her own thing going, and it was good. Like, obviously now
like her being brown wasn't the center of it, because you can also have a TV show without the culture of the person being the big thing. Obviously it's nice because you're like, oh my god, it makes you proud to have your culture. But for me, the Mindy Project was so nice because first of all, she's also half Tamil, half from Body, but also to see her, like the whole thing was centered around her as a gynecologist, like just living her life. She was a doctor, her love interest and stuff like that. She was a normal person. It wasn't as a brown woman, because it doesn't need to be the center of your experience. It shapes you.
It's like we just want representation that's not like so out of the picture, which is just how we are, like a true representation, not just like a stereotyped representation, which I think Mindy's.
But for me, like I love Bridgerton, I love those kind of like romance pieces, whatever. And being a lover girl, please, seeing season 2, because even now I'm rewatching because season 3 came out. I hate pulling, but rewatching season 1. Okay, cool. But watching season 2 and watching those 2 girls, the way I loved it. So like you feel so, and like that's what I'm saying. Like I'm so happy because now I know that there's, like we said, some DVD girls that 12 years old, 13, 14. 10, 11, and they're seeing beautiful women, and they are recognized as beautiful, growing up with and they're lusted after, and they're loved after, and you know they yearned for, and you know they're like all of that stuff. It's just so nice to see, because I know that they're gonna grow up feeling confident, even never like have ever trending. No, go on.
So it's like trending on TikTok as well, like her whole eye thing, and everyone's doing it.
Like a Tamil video.
And like everyone's doing it as well. So it's like the younger generation's like, okay, they have something
even
good
like
to
the jewelry with. Like people wear now, like everyone's wearing
Jimmy Keys. I've seen so many people wear Jimmy Keys.
I would have never worn it before, but now I start to like, I like it because I'm like, I feel like I'm showing my culture.
Like before, anytime like my mum would be like, okay, we need to get out of the car to just go somewhere, I'll be like, no, like everyone's
I'd be so embarrassed.
I feel so embarrassed.
Like a lot of the time when I was out in public wearing culture clothes with my mum, I had so many comments like, I did like a dance performance, like the Brit School ones, and like I was in a proper like Bharatanatyam, like the proper set, and I was walking past these 2 like boys, and they were literally like saying the most, and I was just like,
they'll laugh like, and they'll be
like you're actually in the Brit School where you see cultural dances, but you're reacting like that. Like it was so like, do you know one thing that I think is such crazy? Like back in like 2018, you know when Anna did this concert, so I got the opportunity to dance there. Why did I keep that so low key at my school? Like I was literally not really telling anyone. Like I would be like, yeah, I'm just performing for someone. Then they would do the research, and I was like, oh god damn, let me like flaunt it. But now if I'm deep in it, if I told everyone like now, fucking hell, like everyone would be like, whoa.
Oh, that's sick.
But like,
of course, because now you're in that space as well.
Yeah, like I feel like, because obviously I went to a private school, then I went to Wally Girls. And that shift was quite big. Like I can't lie, I know bare people hate Wally Girls, but I can't like the space there is so lovely. Like for Tamil girls, like you really feel like proud to be in your culture. And because like Ovia did like Diwali showcases, so obviously like being there, I was like, I gotta do a showcase. If everything's on, I gotta do my big one. You know what I mean? So I did a showcase as well, and seeing all these little kids want to like perform and do the big ones, like it's so nice. Like because I know if I was like in their position when I was that age, you think I'll be doing cultural dances? No, like I would literally be so ashamed. So it's nice seeing that.
I was gonna ask you, did you go to a girls' secondary school?
Yeah, I did.
So all 3 of us went to girls. Well, I was because you know our dating culture episode, Angela was speaking about like same-sex schools and how it's not the best, because obviously like you go into a mixed school afterwards and it really like makes you a bit awkward and stuff. I enjoyed my time because I feel like we said, you're in a point where you're uncomfortable with your body, you're developing, you've got all these weird sexualized comments from men as like, I'm talking 12 to 16. Being in a girls' school actually helped with, for me, with like being more comfortable in self, like having that girlhood. Like I would always be comfortable around women and have that relationship. But I feel like obviously it depends. As you guys are talking about, like, I don't know, how did you find it?
I think it does depend. Like with me, I got really lucky. But then like when I went to all the girls and I was hearing their stories, like all my days, like
obviously
from a young age, they were sexualized so badly. Like I think there was this one girl who's like groomed so much and she didn't even know. Like low-key, when I got to that school, because like I feel like I matured quite quickly when it came to men. Like I wasn't dumb. Like if a guy was to chat to me, I'll know straight away, like you're trying to use me, like you're not actually interested in me. These girls get gassed so quickly, and it's like I feel bad for them because it's like they don't have that exposure, so they just quickly like think, oh no, this is love, when it's really not. Like,
but do you know where that comes from? I feel like when you're, like we said, we're getting dolled up, we're getting dressed up, realistically, just because you started your period, I don't feel like you should wear a sari, because when you wear a sari and you're wearing all the heavy jewelry and you look like a bride, let's be honest, you then want to start acting older. I'll be so raw, like the way I was acting up after my son, I would act like a big girl. And why am I 13 acting like I'm 18 now?
But like literally, I remember all people say to us like, you look too old, you're 25, like you look like your cousin.
Like I always say this, and I'm like, I think you guys are very secure in yourselves, and I think that's because you allow yourselves to be authentic, to be like your age. You allow yourself, you don't try to be someone you're not.
You're making
gas. No, I genuinely mean it though, because I think a lot of people that try to act older and stuff, like me and Ova always say, it comes from a place of insecurity. Like we don't have that comfortability, and I think even when I see you guys' friendship, I think it's really sweet that you guys are there for each other like that.
I think it's just like, I feel like with our culture, we don't really like nurture girls properly in a way. Like if I actually deep how I was brought up compared to Ovia, through her experiences, that's how I got brought up. Like seeing how people viewed her, reacted to her, and like literally I can't like she was so authentically her, and just because she was loud and like a kid who like didn't care what she wore, so and it's just her body that changed. People wanted to react like so much, and because of that, I knew like I had to protect myself. I need to dress like this, because like I never got catcalled in my life, only at Wally Girls once, but like
really,
yeah, even I would literally be in East Croydon walking home at late hours, and like no one would chat to me, no one would come to me. So I think that's also because I protected myself that much, that like I avoided everything as much as possible. And I feel like because I was so exposed to like, you know, what happens to girls in the world, like girls getting kidnapped, girls having like,
my God,
do you know what I mean? Like Amanda Todd, all these like stories. I just knew like I need to be alert, I need to be on my game. Like,
and it's sad that we have to be like on our toes every single time we even just go to the shops.
As a
like,
kid as well, as a teenager, because my mom was a Lancaster warrior. Like she'll read all these stories on
the Lancaster,
she'll read these stories. They'll read these stories and they'll be like, oh no, you cover them out of corner.
I feel like for me, freedom was like a thing that was always there. It was just more about like, what are people gonna say? Like, just
there's a lot of that.
It's always
like,
I
think I'm similar to you in that situation. Like I have a lot of freedom. Like my dad gives me a lot of freedom, but it's them ones where like he's even within himself, he's like, oh, just be careful what people are gonna say. Like
that's just the common
it's literally a common thing. But I think it's because people have a lot to say.
Our parents don't think we're gonna do nonsense, and we're
100%.
also not. We're not going to put ourselves in that position, even if we do know how to conduct ourselves. It's the fact that our parents are so concerned, like what other people are going to think. But if all of us think that, do you know what I mean?
It must be from something, and what that something is like years of people saying them more. Exactly.
Because low-key, like, if I'm not bothered what my parents say, why am I going to be bothered about what you have to say about me? Like, those people, like, in, like, comment sections or TikToks be like, if your dad saw this, can't lie, like, my dad sees everything I do, he sees what I wear, like.
So what's the problem?
Like, another thing I would say, low-key, like, most of the stuff I feel is not from men, it's actually from women, which I think is crazy. Because even like my Tamil school,
in our community, I kind of get that.
But I feel like it's because of the experiences that we've had as children that's leading us to be in a way where, oh, we have to act this certain way. If someone steps out of it, what are you doing?
No, but guys, you need to be like like a lot of the older women, they actually experienced the criticisms that they're trying to protect us from. I think a lot of people think that when older women say stuff, it's a bitterness, but a lot of the reason it's because they've actually experienced it. Like, for example, let's say the clothing thing, them saying like, don't wear that. They do say it for a reason. Or like, for example, if you're hanging out with a boy and they see you and they're like, you know, what would people say? And those people say, you know, this girl was the boy. It's because they've experienced, let's say they're innocently walking with a friend, their name has been tarnished, and they're only going to be a product of their environment. So there's going to be stuff that we've experienced that we're going to tell our kids. Our kids are going to be like, what are you talking about? But we know because we've experienced 100%. It. You know what? When I was younger, my sister used to give me advice, I hated it because I'm like, oh, shut up. Like, you're just old, whatever. It's not. It's genuinely experience that guides the way that, because a lot of the things that they've warned me about, it has happened to me. And I'm like, damn, I should have listened to you.
I think, like, for me, it was just more gossipy though. Like, it was weird, like, because I do think there is that side where, like, they are genuinely trying to, like, care.
There's two sides.
But then there's definitely, like, gossipy too, because, like, even this one girl in my dance class, she was quite mature, like, physically. Definitely all the guys loved her, do you know what I mean? And the way these women would just come for her so much, it was literally, like...
Like, I think, like, with women especially, they have this thing where, like, obviously, when we're young, we're in the protection of our parents. And then... when we're older, like, we have to get married off quickly because we're in the protection of our thing. We don't have that space to become independent. We don't have that time to be like our own self. I feel like we'd never do. Like, it's just like this, that's it. That's our life. So I feel like you said, we were talking about it before as well, like, women feel like they become independent after marriage. And I don't think it's like that. I feel like you have to discover your own, like, self for you to have that independence, for you to have that, to literally just discover yourself.
And as both of us are saying, we love it, even then, like, the importance of being single and learning about yourself is something 100% so underrated. Like, I value love so much. I value love so much, and I think it's like the most beautiful thing in the world. But I also think you have to be in such a stable position to be in a relationship. And I think as young women,
really sure of yourself.
Nurturing yourself before you nurture a relationship is so important. And whenever people tell me that, I never understood it, but if you're in a relationship before you're ready, before you're comfortable, because, like, for example, I know that I have a lot of toxic habits, and that part of healing, I think, is facing those, like, dark parts of yourself and being like, do you know what, I want to change. We all have toxic habits, of course. 100%. But a lot of my toxic habits came from being insecure, from being unhappy, a lot of childhood stuff, like a lot of adolescent stuff that we're talking about now. And I think being secure within yourself, if you're not, you're going to be toxic to your partner, and then you're going to have a rubbish relationship, and then it's going to end in heartbreak and depression. So you might as well, like, deal with that stuff first. And I think that's what isn't talked about enough.
Literally, just because, like, because I feel like I have been kind of raised more in, like, a Western way, because I haven't been raised with, like, much Tamil influence, like, only from, like, dance was, like, there much, like, Tamil influence. But even with dance, like, I did Western styles of dance, and, you know, I can't lie, when you go to Western classes, you see girls wearing bras. I ain't wearing that, so why are you man thinking like that's me? Like, I think that's what's crazy.
The whole process of becoming a woman is, as soon as you realize that men look at you and that men will somehow provide a life for you, they dim your light so much. You suddenly become so much more aware of the things that you have to be more mindful of. Like, when I was younger, I had so many hobbies. Like, I was so musical. I had a band. I would, like, play so many instruments. Like, I had so many, like, I would draw, I would do this, I would do that. I had so many hobbies. Now I'm like, I just do my studies, my work, and, like, where's the time for, like, to nurture my own creativity, to nurture myself? Like, I feel like it's this transition of, you need to be a wife, you need to be serious, you need to be a grown up. And that's why I think
that's the thing, like, as soon as you have, like, this grow up phase, it's like, literally, you grow up, you have that awkward phase, and then you're in another man's shadow. Like, you never have that time to grow, and even if you do have that time to grow, people are always saying things in your ear.
Like you said, this whole thing of, like, being a kuttuvelaka is the worst thing, because a kuttuvelaka isn't just what they think it is. Like,
it's, until I joined uni, I, like, clocked what that means, like, what people are talking about. Because before, like, again, I wasn't really around, like, Tamil men to be, like, giving a shit or something. But, like, I don't know, like, for me, like, this whole kuttuvelaka stuff is so jarring, because, like, okay, there could be a girl who's so caring, she'll provide for you.
Yeah, but because she's modern,
like, oh god, she's not a kuttuvelaka, like,
Because they want something. No, when a lot of people say cold developer, they mean someone homebound, someone that's submissive, someone that won't question you.
They won't question.
Listen, I will take care of my man, but I'm not gonna be silent whilst you're disrespecting me.
Like, you know how women, so when they're born, whatever, they're under someone's roof. Like, you know how you said their parents, you're under your parents' roof, and then when you're there, you're hearing all this criticism, and then their whole life's purpose is to get married because that's what you're taught when you're in your parents' roof. And when you get married, that's it. Like, that's when people think, oh, I have my independence, I'll get my independence when I'm married. You don't. You're back into another roof.
That's really real,
you don't have that period of like, let me grow, let me be myself, let me find myself.
Like most girls don't get that period where they can grow or like find their own independence. Because even in gymnastics, so I did it from like 8, and when I think I was like 11, I started to notice better my friends quitting, and it wasn't because like they just wanted to quit. It was literally because, you know, they like, it's that thing where when girls get older, suddenly that they stop having their interests, they stop doing their hobbies that they love. This is the thing, when I was younger, it wasn't like, I wouldn't say I was sexualized like crazy. It was just like, I kind of like did it to myself. Like, I knew what people would say, so I'd be like, let me shelter myself. And then obviously as I got older, I got more comfortable with myself. I got more like secure in how I am. And like, if someone had something to say, I could easily be like, brother, I'm 19, what are you talking about? Like, chill out.
Yeah.
I can't, like, stepping in the dance scene, like, yeah, you can. There is a lot of like,
I feel like even from what I've seen, like from her like experiences, like as soon as people see her, they think a type of way. They think that she'll be down for like crazy stuff.
Does it make you change how you perceive yourself, or do you think you're strong? Like, you guys are both like strong-willed in your head. If there was someone that wasn't as much, do you not think that would like change how they perceive
obviously
themselves?
For like someone who isn't as strong like as me, I think that will crush them like completely. Wait, what are we actually talking about?
I don't know.
We're just
waffling about a lot of things. I feel like.
It's fine. That's why I'm trying to bring everything back to like womanhood.
Yeah.
I think this episode is just going to be like
womanhood.
Journey of womanhood.
Oh, that's a nice title. Journey of womanhood, guys.
Journey of womanhood.
Guys, I think that's the end of this episode. If you have one message that you want to give to maybe a few younger girls, what would you give?
Obviously, like, I can tell that they're probably gonna be like, shut up, I want to be grown up.
That's one thing.
But genuinely stay a child, like, enjoy your childhood, because you won't get that back. And like, honestly, like, as much as you can, try and avoid that whole phase of high school where you're like trying to get in with boys and all that stuff, because you can do that later on. Like, boys will always come in like the picture, but you will never get that experience when you can just like find yourself as a child and just do whatever you want and stuff like that.
Find yourself. I think that's the big thing, because girlhood is amazing. I love girlhood. 100%. We love girlhood, but I think finding yourself, establishing yourself is so important. But yeah, if you guys like the episode, please do like, comment and subscribe. We have loads of new episodes planned coming up for you this summer in our nice new studio. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye.